And we're back with some more Rimworld, playing Nomadic and playing Nomadically, trying to move around a lot. Now, there's a few things I immediately want to address and get over with from the previous video. There was a lot of good feedback I got from the comments. We're going to cover animal zones. Zones here, and this is the zone section. So this zone is called Keep Animals Out of the Base. And what it means is the animals can go anywhere except for this area here. I don't want them going into the kitchen, the butchering area, or any of this area which stores our pemmican medical supplies. Effectively, I just don't want them getting near the pemmican. The pemmican is the hardest to cook. I don't mind what else they eat, but the pemmican, no, stay away from that. And how this was achieved, because this zone literally covers the entire map, is you just go in here and you go into expanded out areas and you go to manage. And you'll see this one here, keep animals out of base. It's inverted. How can I explain that? If we grab, say, this here and we go with keep animals out of base, you see this is the zone. So I selected the area I didn't want them to go into. And then once that was selected, I went to manage areas and click invert to make it the opposite. For herbivores, I did the exact same thing. I selected this area here. This area here is most of my main base and some of the storage areas that I didn't want the herbivores trampling around in. And then I just hit invert. Now they will be able to graze the entire map to their heart's content, but they won't go inside my base and filthy the place up. When it comes to animal filth as well, was another thing. I didn't want my animals going through here in case they drag dirt into my kitchen, but it turns out some animals don't produce dirt. For example, dogs, in general, don't. If you check under information here, you'll see they actually have animal filth rate, and it's 0.00 for dogs. They don't have any animal filth. Whereas if you check something like a muffalo, which is definitely not pet-like, you'll see they have an animal filth rating of 2.63. So you got to worry about these larger animals going through. And boars. We have a boar, which is also a pet, but yeah, they also produce animal filth. Not nearly as much as other ones, but I don't want them getting into here. And I'm usually going to have pets that wander around with my people. For example, where is it here? Nope, wrong one. Oh yeah, here we go. Kohuli's master. So long as my critters can keep hanging around with their masters most of the day, the people they are bonded with, it gives a mood boost to the person. So you'll see here, these people are all bonded. Right there, you can see the bond, and there's the master. So Diggity is bonded with Cassius and Caesar, and Kuhui is bonded with Stark. Just handy. The unfortunate downside is, of course, these animals do have a very limited lifespan. They're much more limited than humans, so when they do pass, it causes a massive negative mood penalty. But it does provide a bonus, swings and roundabouts. Yeah, that was mentioned in the comments by Flesh Forge. Thanks very much for that one. Last one was bed rest here under work. This is where I also made a mistake. Bed rest, I just assumed it was go to bed and sleep. Too much oxygen not included, it seems. Turns out, no, it's for recuperation from life-threatening medical problems. They'll immediately go to bed for that, which is, very important. Though they will prioritize firefighting over going to bed, which, yeah, you know what? Considering how dangerous that is, I'm okay with that. Anyway, today, what we're going to do is we're going to get around to just stockpiling some more food. All of this pemmican is what's going to last us. That's what's going to have to last us through the winter. We don't grow crops. I am not growing any crops anywhere, you might have noticed. But that's not something we're going to worry about just yet. We don't need the crops so long as we keep harvesting wild food. And we live on meat and turn all the berries we find, which I've also queued up a whole bunch more berry harvesting. Once we've turned all our berries and the meat we harvest into pemmican, we should have enough to just about last us through the winter. We might have to spend some money, but it's the style I'm going for. Another thing that was mentioned in the comments is that I should clean up the outside of my areas by putting in proper flooring. It just stops them from dragging dirt directly into the kitchen and should help keep the kitchen cleaner, which should result in theoretically less food poisoning. Oh, another ambrosia spirit? I'm pretty sure I've had one of these already. You know what? We'll take that one anyway. Why not? More food the merrier. Or more... Okay, this is not something you should really eat. It's more... hallucinogenic, I suppose? Something along those lines. Let's just say you shouldn't allow your pawns to be consuming it, which is another thing we should get around to. I should cover things you shouldn't allow your pawns to do. And yes, we're going to do the same thing we did on the last one. We're going to clear the home zone around this as well. We don't want to be harvesting it. Oh, and there's a bunch of berries. Yes, my planter has been going around quickly cleaning up all of the bushes everywhere. We're going to have lots and lots of berries, so we're going to need lots and lots of meat to go with them, which reminds me I should probably hunt a few more critters. Situations like these are the reason you hunt mega sloths in packs instead of sending one guy with a submachine gun after them. Ring a rosary, come on. Oop. Oh, MacGyver, just in time. And you also have a submachine gun. That is wonderful. Wow, those things can take a pounding. You really can. You can get back to work. Ring a rosy, pocket full of mega sloth. On the bright side, this will be an enormous amount of meat when the time comes. Dear Lord, okay, it's slowed down enough. I think I can get them both to maybe gang up on it. Seriously, how many hits did that take? That was incredible. Yeah, those things are very tough, but I needed the meat. And if you're willing to do a little bit of a ring around the rosy with them, they can be quite useful. Oh, we can cancel that. And Randy has finally prepared us with our first set of actual human attackers. They will prepare for a while and then attack. So this means we have a little bit of time to prepare, which is good. Let's see what they got. Gear-wise, we're looking at a steel club, a steel knife, a steel club, and 1 revolver. So we have 1 ranged attacker, 3 close range attackers. We need to take this very, very seriously. They could come up through here, or they could go down through there. I think we'll set up a sort of defensive perimeter right along here to contain them. First thing we're going to do is we are going to put up a few walls. Walls are probably one of the best defensive structures they can get for ranged attacks. They give you about a 75% defensive bonus. So I'm thinking we will put, say, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, and... Wait, no. Yeah, that seems like it should be right. You know, cancel you. Hopefully that'll work out. If they come down at too much of an angle, this won't be great, but I'm not going to care too much. Work-wise, let's get everyone. We're going to crank up your construct a little bit higher. Yeah, all the way up. I'll worry about putting that back down later. This brings us to combat in this game, and against humans, it's a much different proposal than it is against critters. So what I've done here is I've just put this together. It's probably a little bit overkill for what we're currently facing, especially considering most of them have close combat weaponry, but if you place a pawn here, they can shoot out through this gap. So they effectively sort of use this wall as cover and shoot out through the gap. And you can place 1 pawn each between all the pillars I'm placing. And when someone does get into close combat range, they will end up facing 2 of your pawns. And you can have a rotating pawn going around to help defend. Well, it's just my preferred method so far, or the one I found that works out best for me. However, looking at this squad, they're mostly close combaters, and what I'd like to do is sort of, well, drain them out and sort of spread them out a bit before I get into combat. Plus, it seems Stark is coming over here to do some work. So I'm going to grab 2 of my pawns and sort of tease them towards me, and then once the attack kicks off, I can then, well, use them more aggressively. So Rambo and Stark here both have decent, well, they both have coats on. They're gear-wise, they've both got on cloth dusters. So at least they've got a little bit of armor. They're both wearing flak pants. They've got a decent chance of survival. And Rambo here is the one with my helmet, so they're probably the toughest. And since Rambo is mainly my shooter, I want to make sure they take any damage if any damage comes out. Namely because if they end up in bed for the next day or so, it's not going to be the end of the world. But, oh, right, they just fired at me. First thing you want to do is take cover. Standing behind some trees is a good idea. Oh, wait, they're behind a tree as well. I would rather maybe pull them back a bit and drag them out of cover. I don't want to get involved in a firefight. Not when they have cover also. Nope, back here. That's fine by me. Come a little bit closer all you want. Ah, damn it. Yeah, they're behind cover again, you see. Yeah, we'll get my pawns to have a quick jog, get behind cover themselves, and start returning fire. Oh, and one thing, if you grab their weapon here and you mouse over, you can see the percentage chance of hitting them. So you can see that the popular tree stops 25%. So that's the cover they've got. Oh, okay, cover 75%, weather 50%, target size, weapon. There's a whole bunch of things. Effectively, my chance of hitting them is pretty damn poor. It's not great. Stark over here, what's their chances of hitting them? Yeah, not so good either. But you know what? Their chances of hitting us is not so good because of for the same reasons. Also, they're using a bad weapon. Another thing about this is if you want to capture someone, it's a good idea. Where's their health needs on this one? It's not actually a bad idea to have these machine pistols. These machine pistols do very little damage, but they do a lot of it. So I'm hopeful here that we have a good chance of injuring people enough that they will just collapse from the pain. I'll go into more details on that a little bit later, but let's fast forward this a bit. Okay, that is Tony down, and Tony will survive for 8 hours before they pass. So we got to decide whether or not we want to keep them. And if you look at their health, where is it? Oh, bio. Great memory, fast learner, incapable of firefighting. They would be a really good doctor, but what I really like about them is this fast learning. Fast learner as a trait, it kind of works a bit like these minor passion symbols. Minor passion means they learn this skill, so they learn medicine at 100% rate. Normally, if it's any other skill, they only learn it at 35% rate. fast learner here, it gives a global learning increase factor to all of the stats. So every single one of these stats here, well, excluding medicals, they'll learn at about 61%. Now, it's not perfect. It would be better, of course, if they had, an interest in it or a passion in it. But at the same time, if you combine just the fast learner trait with an interest, say like medicine here, this drastically increases how good they are. This pawn here will learn medicine faster than someone who has a burning passion in it. And as well as that, they'll be half decent at pretty much everything else, which means they'll be a great all-rounder, which would be very nice. They're incapable of firefighting, which is okay. I can live with that, to be honest. So it might be an idea to get someone to go prioritize a rescue on them. Dog's Body is cooking. MacGyver, what are you up to, MacGyver, at the moment? You know what, I think Dog's Body can go grab them. Oh, do we have a prisoner assigned bed? That would be an idea. Let's say that's for prisoners, also for medical. And you are going to go out and collect them. Capture Tony Medic. Oh, we should probably allow people to go pick up that pistol. You two boys are going to come along. How's your mood going? You're still quite happy. We're going to see if we can't knock out some of these. Now, one thing, there's someone here I would also like to capture. Yeah, Anita. She's got 12 shooting, 10 intellectual. We do need a researcher. She is neurotic, which has the bonus of 20% global increase in work speed, which means she works faster, which is always useful. That also works for research. Mental break threshold plus 8%, which is not nice and abrasive, but considering the bonuses she's got, and I pretty much want all of my pawns to be able to defend themselves. Even Tony over here, their shooting's at 5, and we can definitely improve upon that, especially considering they've got the fast learner trait. So let's get these two other pawns over here and into the fray. And let's maybe see if we can't get Anita to join us. Okay, someone tag her. Come on, slow her down. One more volley. Okay, that's enough. Let's get everyone out of here. Run, run. Okay, she seems to be turning around. No, keep shooting. You keep shooting at her too. That's enough of that. What's her health down to? 7 hours. Yeah, she might collapse in a bit. Let's target Kerm here, because Kerm seems to have a little bit more pep in his step right now. Okay, enough of that. One-on-one. Okay, no, we really need to do... Okay, perfect. Anita's down. Also, the rest of them are going to run away. That is perfectly fine by me, I think. Does any of them have anything we want? You, what's your gear? Ooh, cloth t-shirt, I would like that. And leather pants, I would also like to take that. The other clothes are at below 50%. And if clothes are below 50%, you don't want to put them on their pawns. It will give them a debuff. They effectively don't like wearing ratty clothes. At the same time, you don't want them wearing clothes that have been on a dead person either. So you do want to make sure you strip people before that'll happen. What's your health at? You will be fine in 6 hours. You'll be 7. You know what? I don't want to get greedy. I think I'm just going to rescue the pawns and be done with it. Which means I'm going to need another sleeping spot for Anita. So, yeah, we're going to put a little sleeping spot here for Anita. We'll put her in there. We're going to have to build another little storage area to keep them a prisoner for a while. And where is... Yeah, Dog's Body's on the way to collect one of them. We'll say have Stark, you can go collect Anita. Yeah, you can capture Anita. And we'll allow that knife to be collected. And Rambo here, why don't you charge forward and see if you can't get a few shots off on Brewer. I'd love to get a few hits on Brewer so I could capture their clothing. Now, they're too fast. I'm never going to capture them. But I might be able to get a few off on Kern. Come on. Seriously? You are incredibly hardy, dude. Oh, yeah. And, okay, that's bad. I didn't want them to die. I was really more interested in injuring them. Oh, which is another thing I've been trying to cover. When it comes to capturing pawns, you will find it incredibly difficult sometimes to capture pawns. You'll end up with them all dying every time you engage with them. The reason for that is the weaponry you're using. The more powerful the weapon you're using, like for example, say a bolt-action rifle, which we haven't encountered yet, it does high damage, low rate of fire. So what'll happen is you'll hit them in the torso, let's say, and you do 20 points of damage, but then your next shot hits them in the torso and then straight up kills them by destroying their torso. Or you'll hit them twice in the arm and destroy their arm, or hit them in the head. It's just, you're more likely to do critical damage. The machine pistol does very little damage, but it does it across how can I explain this? It does it across huge quantities of their body. So for example, we'll take Anita here, the damage is spread out all across their body, and because of that they've just suffered more pain, and the more pain they suffer, the more likely they are to collapse. Everyone's got a pain break threshold. So what's happened here is they've hit their pain break threshold and they've collapsed. but before it's actually destroyed and killed them. Oh, well, gunshot to the kidney is probably not going to help. Same with this pawn over here. Same thing happened. Now, I need to get them treated, so I think we're just going to get Stark to... oh, they can't treat them? Oh, they don't have the doctoring skill. One moment, I'm going to have to try and figure out if I can get everyone to doctor these as quickly as possible. I don't want to lose them. For Anita here, what I've done is I've set them to doctor care but no medicine. That should hopefully get them bandaged up. All I want to do is make sure they're bandaged up as quickly as possible. So for Tony here, we're going to do the same thing. I do have access to some decent medicine I could use them, but honestly, not worth the risk. So instead, what you want to do is select their health and just go in and say, no medicine. And hopefully they can at least stop the bleeding. All we want to do is stop the bleeding. If they get an infection or something like that, we can worry about that later. Oh, yeah, also I'm probably going to want to put in some illumination in there. That would be an idea. Yes, I probably should have planned this out an awful lot better. If you put in at least a lamp, dog's body can see what they're doing, because unfortunately their tending skill is going to be very slow. Without medicine and without light, that's going to be really bad. But hopefully they live. As their wounds get tidied up, it increases the amount of time it takes them to bleed out. And usually your medics will prioritize the things that are causing them the most bleeding. So, well, Stark is pretty terrible at medicine, unfortunately. Dog's body is a lot better. But once Dog's body is finished with Tony, which should hopefully be in another few minutes, they can get along to helping out Anita, who's still at 4 hours despite having 4 of her wounds bandaged up. This is not going well for... Oh, she's up to 5 hours. I'm pretty sure they're going to survive now. It'll just be a case of giving them good medicine after this. Medical emergency. People are at risk of death because of severe illness. Yeah, well, that's what you get for getting riddled by machine gun bullets. Anyway, let's skip this forward a bit until morning. I'm going to have the Dog's body and Stark sleep late after all the work they've been putting in. Now that they're mostly done, I'm going to allow them to start using medicine on them, just because. So I've increased them to getting actual herbal medicine that should help speed up the heal rate. In the meantime, yes, I think we're good to move on with continuing with food production, and then maybe hopefully finding some more wildlife we can hunt. I think I'm going to just take out the last of the mega sloths and a few other bits and pieces, and then we're going to get out of here. Yeah, it's time to move on to greener pastures, so to speak. We start off the next morning with Randy deciding to gift us some cargo pods. And what are they? Yayo. Okay. That is, yes, that's chemical stimulants that probably we don't want. It's also highly addictive. There's several highly addictive substances in this game, and you don't really want your pawns getting into them. That would be bad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set up the... where's our pawns? We're going to set up our pawns assigned... Where is it? No, it's not assigned. It's under restrict. Nope. Damn it. Yes, it's assigned. Manage drug policies. We're just going to set a policy. Oh, yeah, no drugs. Just no drugs. So what you can do here is just choose what type of policy they have. The default ones are here, so we have like no drugs, and we'll just copy that to all of them. Don't want them doing anything just yet. You also have ones, well, let's see, if we select a policy here, say the no drugs one, by default, if they have an addiction, they're allowed to keep going. Otherwise, it can cause them to go into withdrawal. Usually withdrawal is a really big problem and something you have to deal with effectively. So here's all the different types of things that they can get addicted to. Luciferium is, yeah, let's not get into that one. That's a very expensive designer one that really improves their quality, but it's fatal if they ever stop taking it. You can also choose to restrict their food and do lots of other things in here, but for the time being, we just want to restrict them to not do any of the mood enhancers that are going to fall out of the sky, because that would be bad. At the same time, I think we're going to be staying here a little bit longer, now that I think about it. The reason being, we've got to tame these people and bring them over to our side. And that's a good time to bring up some of the quirks of being tribal. When you're tribal, you have 3 different things to the normal start. One of them is when you're on the world map and you form a caravan, you get 100% bonus to 170% is your forage rate. The other sides only have 100% forage rate. As nomadic, you get 170%, which means you forage more berries from the world as you're moving across it, which means you need less food when you're caravanning. It's just one of their nice bonus traits. Another bonus trait they get is when it comes to converting people. If you play the standard start, you'll find it very hard to convert tribes people. Tribes people won't want to join you. But if you have a tribal start, you get a bonus to the conversion of tribal people. So if we were to say grab this person and go to prisoner and go to the resistance remaining is 22, and the recruitment difficulty is 55. If I was not tribal, this would be much higher. This would be like, you'd be looking at, say, resistance remaining of about 60 to 70 and a recruitment difficulty of somewhere in the 90s. So this is one of the other bonuses of being tribal, is the most common thing you will be attacked by is other tribes. Or, well, the most plentiful supply of incoming pawns will usually be other tribes. They send massive attack waves. The other sides usually send smaller, more heavily armed and armored attack waves. So you can usually get a lot more pawns if you're collecting them from the tribal side. Oh, and they have one other thing, but it's a negative, and that is the research. The research is affected by a negative. So if we try and, say, get complex furniture, cost multiplier 150%. It costs us more to research things because we're Neolithic and we're pretty dumb. And it's once you go up to electricity and beyond, that research cost goes up to 200%. Oh, even some of these. You can see that cost multiplier of 200%. Most of the techs are, yeah, they're going to cost you an absolute fortune, which is unfortunate and slows down your tech progression. But we're not worried too much about research just yet. But yeah, that's the three main benefits or differences with tribal to the normal standard start. However, I can't find a definitive list anywhere of why that is or if they have any other traits or benefits. So I'm still trying to figure out if there's any more. Currently, though, this is all that I'm aware of so far. I've managed to complete this new little cell here. I'm going to make this 4 prisoners and we have to transfer Anita over there. This, though, is kind of annoying. What you're going to have to do is, well, get rid of Anita out of that bed and then have someone capture her and they'll move her over. This becomes much more complicated when they're not unconscious and they can walk about the place, but usually it's a case of arresting them, though it may result in them resisting, in which case you're going to end up, well, having to hurt them again to make sure that they get to where they're supposed to go. But I needed to do this because I wanted to have her in a clean environment. With a dirt floor in here, it was dirty and that increases her chance of infection. If anyone's injured and you're taking care of them in a dirty area, they get a chance of getting infected. We'll see what happens. Severe blood loss? Oh yeah, she's definitely in a bad way. This one, yeah. One downside of using machine pistols to tame people is, yeah, it does a lot of damage and you're going to be healing them for quite some time. But on the bright side, my medic is getting a hell of a workout. Anyway, Dog's Body is doing some cleaning up and then she gets straight back into cooking. We're going to need a lot more meals and a lot more pemmican if we're going to survive the winter. When it comes to converting pawns, the most important skill is social. Unfortunately, when I was picking my pawns, I was aiming more for, well, shooties, and, well, I was limited in my pawn choices at the start because I had to pick out of the pool of, well, I didn't have to pick out of the pool I was given of 8, but I liked to restrict myself to the pool of 8 you're originally given, so none of them really had good social skills, or those that did had drug addictions or huge problems with them. So my best one is Wick Rambo McLean, otherwise known as Super John, after John Wick, John Rambo, and John McLean. But yeah, no one calls him that because he doesn't have any friends because he's, an ascetic. Oh, ascetic is very important. Ascetics don't care about their bedrooms or, where is it? If you go under their bio here, ascetics prefers to live in asceticism. Asceticism? She will be put in a poor mood if she has a bedroom that is too impressive. She also dislikes fancy foods and prefers to eat raw food. In other words, feed them bad food, keep them in a terrible bedroom, and they'll be happy. And by happy, if we look under needs here, you'll see, where is it? Ascetic has dull bedroom, gives them a +4. They get +4 happiness from staying in a dull bedroom. Everyone else gets nothing from that. Anyway, yes, we need to convert these people. So to convert them, we're going to go into... Wait, prisoner. Come here, prisoner. Prisoner menu. Once you go into the prisoner menu, you can recruit. Now, there's a few options. You can hit recruit. Recruit is just to, we straight up just want them to join our colony. Reduce resistance is more of a training for your social skills. It does the same thing as recruit. It reduces the resistance, but even after the resistance is reduced to 0 and it's possible for them to join you, you'll just keep going in and talking to them and increasing your social skills. So it's a good way to train the social skill by keeping a few prisoners around that you don't even want to convert, just so you can practice your social skills. But in this instance, we do want to recruit them, so we're going to leave that on. Same over here, we want to recruit them as well, so we'll recruit both of those, and as soon as they're available, they will join our colony. This was quite good. They're not perfect pawns, but, I mean, they're going to help out an awful lot. This one is going to be our amazing researcher, and they've got great shooting to go with it. And this one is, I really wish they had better social. They might actually end up becoming our doctor and our socialist, because they've got fast learners, so they'll actually learn social faster than Rambo ever will. I mean, Rambo's not exactly the nicest guy. Anyway, let's move forward a little bit, shall we? Over here, you can see Rambo having a chat with Anita, even though she's, I presume, unconscious and, in bed because of the sheer amount of bullet wounds she's got. But after they talk to them for a bit, you see resistance has dropped from 11 to 10.4. It should be dropping by a lot more than that, but Rambo, unfortunately, is terrible at social skills. Whatever. But eventually they will get converted once the resistance has gone down to 0. And once the resistance hits 0, we can then have a percentage chance of recruiting them. Same over here with Tony. Several people I've seen several people mention that the nicer the rooms you have them in, the higher their needs have been met and the better their mood, the faster they convert. But I haven't seen anyone test this or do any studying on it, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. It seems to be a general consensus, but I I don't see any math to back it up. So if you do have any links or information on conversion speed and having them in better bedrooms, better containment facilities, keeping them happier and jumping up their mood, I would be interested to see any research on that. Well, some extra wildlife has appeared on the map. We've got more alpacas, which, yeah, I think we're going to tame. Worst case scenario, we can, when winter comes, if things get tight, we can always dispose of them. But I'm going to do something stupid, and I'm going to hunt some rhinoceros, because it's a rhinoceros. There's, like, why not? I think we're going to send Rambo out to take care of that, you know? Yeah, hunting rhinoceros. If a pawn is doing a chore, like that Rambo there was assigned off to do something else, they were going to go pick something up. If you draft them and undraft them, they'll pick the next item on the list. It basically resets them. And his primary focus is to do hunting. So we're going to send him off on his own with a submachine gun to hunt a rhino. This is a terribly, terribly bad idea. What's the speed on these things? That's a good thing to look up. You can look up the animal speed, which is... Wait, no, that's animal filter rate. 1 second. Oh, animal movement speed is 5. What's the movement speed on our pawn? This could be a terribly bad idea. Our movement speed is below that of the rhino. This... Yeah, you know what? Diggity, you want to get in on this one. Rambo, we're going to draft you there. We're going to leave Dog's Body to hold down the fort. Stark, we're going to need you over here as well. We want everyone in on this one. And MacGyver, why are you in bed? Why are you in bed at this hour of the day? Seriously? And why are your needs so low? 8 without table and unsightly environment. You know what? Yeah, just stay there. 3 should be enough. Unless all 3 of them go manhunter, in which this could be terrible. We'll set you to hunt as well. And we'll set you to hunt as well. The reason I'm setting them to hunt is that just means they'll automatically be harvested when the time comes. Ooh, and that's way too fast. I won't have time to react if it goes manhunter. It's gone manhunter. Yep. Whew, thankfully only one of them went manhunter. Okay, what health is you at? You will bleed out in 4 hours. I am okay with that. Time to go grab some more. Well, that's a rhinoceros revenge for you. Yeah, we'll skip this forward a bit. I'm going to do some rhino hunting. And there we go. Whew. So that is going to be our food needs for quite some time taken care of. We'll let everyone else get back to their jobs. Oh, here's some gold that I'm mining over here. Gold, very valuable resource. Make sure to mine it if you find it. You can use it to sell or do it for other things. We'll get rid of all of those. You can just right-click those envelopes to get rid of them if you don't want to keep them around. Now, since these animals are already set to... Wait, you should be set to hunt. Yeah, these are already set to hunt or allow. Yeah. So they'll all be taken up and eventually brought back for harvesting once my pawns get around to it. That should give us plenty of heavy leather. You know what? We should probably get into research bench as well. No, we'll get into research at the next area. This here is part of the quest storyline. Everyone gets it every game you play. A friendly AI from your past named Charlton Whitestone has sent you a message. Charlton Heston? Never mind. Effectively, there's a ship that gets you off the planet, and it is located right over here. Lesser Lake Teleshi, and gives you this purple flag. That purple flag, if you get there, there's some other stuff you'll have to do, and it is a bit dangerous, but you can potentially get off the planet and sort of end the game. Now, the first time this happens to you, you will probably go, oh wait, where is my settlement? Because if you go... I should pause the game. If you click out of the world map, that's great, but every time you go back out, you're now on this point. There's no real home key to bring you back in this map. You have to find your base. So what you can do is you can zoom out and have a look around. Now, if you're colorblind, this is going to be a nightmare, it seems. You see that blue one there? That blue one is you. It also becomes bigger. So as you zoom out, it should become bigger than the other surrounding triangular ones, your tribal settlement looking thing. So that's the easiest way to find it, is zoom all the way out and look for the really big settlement. Yeah, and that'll bring you back. Then you can zoom back in, find your location on the map, and go back in and get things done. Okay. One thing I've been doing, I've decided I'm going to stay here till the end of summer, so I've got another 5 days, so I'm going to do a little bit of renovations. I'm going to start storing more pemmican. I've run out of space in my centralized storage area, so we're going to throw on a little bit of additional construction. So a quick expansion that went on there, that just allows me to expand my storage area up into here, and it just keeps the whole thing nice and compact. This temporary facilities is getting a little bit out of hand, which is kind of the whole point of this game, I suppose. Everything that starts up... Jaguar, what are you still doing here? You have been here for ages. This is that wild human that's been around for a while, and they keep standing around here, and they're eating my food. You know what? I'm either going to recruit you or get rid of you. Nope. Stop getting distracted. Anyway, I have expanded the stockpile area up into there, and I think I'm going to shrink it down so that this place becomes less offensive for my pawns. To shrink it, you just, shrink this zone. And we'll get rid of that. Boom, now all the stuff should be thrown up in there. Also, we're low on medicine because I just removed it from our storage area. Oops. Another thing that Randy Random has thrown at us is a small herd of thrombos have wandered into the area. By small herd, he means one. These are incredibly tough. Also, incredibly valuable. Let's have a quick look at their speed, though. Movement speed rate of 5.50. Yeah, these are incredibly dangerous to hunt. Also, we don't really have any high damage weaponry, but it would be very nice to get our hands on some. So, you know what? Maybe we will take a shot at them, but not tonight. Not tonight. We're going to let everyone finish off and move all this stuff around. Everyone has finished their jobs. We've run out of meat to turn into... Well, we've got some alpaca meat left to turn into pemmican, but I want to get this... I want to get this Thrumbo taken care of. We're not going to bring MacGyver with us because for some reason MacGyver is just constantly unhappy. That might have something to do with their volatile state, which reduces their mental break threshold, and it's really, really, really quite annoying. But hey, you play the hand you're given. We're going to get these 4 pawns, and yeah, I don't care what you're doing. Drop it all. We are going to go take care of a problem. For that, we're going to slow this down, and we're going to have to be incredibly careful here because this critter will get angry. This critter will charge, and I want to make sure I have everyone separated out so I can see who they're charging for and hopefully, you know, kite it quite effectively. You go over there. Okay, fine. That way we should be able to get a definitive idea of which one they're going after. Yeah, Thrumbo is immediately on revenge, and it looks like they're going for Diggity. Diggity, you're just going to start running. You're going to go over there. Oh, this is not going well. You go over there. Keep running. Don't stop. Oof, Stark is not having a good day. Keep shooting. Dear Lord, that critter will just not go down, will it? How's Stark doing? Get into the house. Can you close the door behind you? Yeah, well, that didn't work out so well, did it? Oops. Yeah. We're going to need to get everyone over there. You know, let's not step on the trap, shall we? Oh, great, the door closed. That is just... You're going to die in 6 hours unless I do something about this. In that case, we're going to need someone to open the door. Who's the most disposable? Diggity, get in there. Okay, Diggity, run away. Oh, damn it, the door closed again. Oh, come on. I've got someone bleeding out down there. Finally, they're at the door. Okay, thankfully. Down, down, down. How is Stark doing? Please tell me you're going to survive. Okay, you're not doing too healthily. You are going to prioritize that. Rescue Stark and Tender. And Tend. Oh, who do we have set up for a medical bed? Stark, where is your bed? Oh, no. You know what? We will set you for medical as well. Why not? It's allowed. Yeah, rescue Stark. But at least we got the Thrombo. I don't know if it was worth it, but... yeah, let everyone get back to their normal jobs. Hopefully Stark hasn't been too badly injured by all of that. So, Stark survived, which is nice. Hopefully they don't scar up after that. I've given them some good medicine, but that's the only good medicine they're getting from now on. Is all back to herbal. I'd like to keep them alive because they're quite good. Oh, did that? I think that door was destroyed. We need that repaired, otherwise that's no longer a room, and that would be bad. We can get rid of that Thrombo's Revenge. Yep, well, that will provide us with enough meat to last us a while longer, and we've got some berries to go with it. Yeah, all good. Yeah, we're going to pretend like that was a good trade. One thing I have not covered thus far is training in your animals. You can train your animals to help with certain tasks. For example, we can grab Caesar here and we can give them training, and we would really like them to help with haul. You can train them up in everything. I didn't do this early on because I kind of wanted my animal trainer to be off trying to tame as many animals as possible. But now that we've got a good selection of pack animals, I don't really care if they're spending a little bit of time doing this. So you really want to go through and get all your animals that you can do this. And currently we have 2 sort of husky animals and a Labrador, a husky, and a boar, and all of them can be trained in all those abilities. So we're going to let our trainer take care of that. In the interim, wow, okay, we get a fair bit of thrombo meat out of that, all of which we are going to turn into pemmican. We're up to 870 pieces of pemmican. It won't keep us going all winter, but it'll keep us going quite a large chunk of the winter, especially if we can get some meat to help keep us going as well, to cook simple meals with. We should be fine. For now, I'm going to finish up collecting all the stuff that's lying loose around the map, namely all the bits I've mined out. I want them all collected up. And I also got a drop of a few furs. Yeah, where is it? Yeah, some pigskin furs dropped down over here. We want to collect those up as well. Once all of that is collected, I think it's going to be time to mine out the last of the map. And by then it should be coming up on the end of summer, which means we're going to migrate to somewhere else for the autumn. Set ourselves up a new encampment and hopefully stop at another city to get ourselves some better equipment. Yeah, those flak pants were probably not my smartest investment. This will be something you'll have to get used to. The major break risk. MacGyver here is not very happy. Reason being, well, okay, they're ravenously hungry, which is their own fault. Unsightly environment, slept on the ground and slept outside. The reason for that is when I put Stark in their bed, I thought MacGyver would be able to sleep beside them, but effectively it's a medical bed, so yeah. So that has made them very, very, very unhappy, and at some point they're probably going to break. There's not really much I can do about it. I do have some Yao on hand, or Yao, that I could give to them, but I'm not going to do that. Once Stark is up and running, I think, though, we'll be getting ready to move out. Well, while we were slowly grinding our way through the game, it turns out a group of pirates have arrived again to attack us. Let's see what we got this time. Ooh, there's 3 of them, and is there only 3? Yeah, it appears to be only 3. And we've got 2 of them are armed with weaponry that I would rather not deal with. Auto pistol, revolver, and a steel gladius. Okay, now what did it say? Are they going to attack us immediately? This is going to be one of those things you encounter where you're like, wait, what did that message say again? Go down to history, go into messages. It'll start on graphs. Just go into messages and find raid. And it will tell you, yep, Tomahawk men have arrived. They're going to attack immediately. So this is something we're going to have to take very seriously. They're going to be coming up from this direction. I don't have any defenses in place, so I'm thinking right in here or here where we can use the rocks as cover. Stone chunks give a pretty good cover bonus. You know what? We might be better off coming down here and forcing them to come to us. So, let's get everyone tooled up and ready to go. Except for Stark. Stark is still currently injured, so they can stay where they are. Oh, and make sure you've changed the speed down to 1 so you can at least react in a timely fashion. Now, where are they? Are you going to go up or are you going to go to the right? Come on, come right. Alright, perfect. In that case, we are going to arrange our pawns to get into cover. Now, one thing about cover, they have to be touching it. For example, if MacGyver was 1 step back, this would not count as cover anymore. You can go over... You know what? No, we'll have Dog's Body go over there, and you can stay right here for the moment. Reason being, I just want a little bit of extra cover around the edges. This gives us... we have a decent position. They're going to have to come at us across mainly flat ground. And there's going to be these 2 first. Yeah, they're not going to like that. Ooh. And let's check out their bio, see if any of them are worth taking. Ooh. Looking at them here, we have some interesting options. This one, unfortunately, is a bit old. Otherwise, they're perfect. You don't want to get them too old because every year they get older, they have the chance of getting debilitating diseases that there's no real cure for. This one, though, is amazing. Careful shooter, quick sleeper, a fast walker, excellent shooting ability. They can't do caring, firefighting, or plant work, but I'd almost, if they were younger, I'd take them. This one, misogynist, volatile, can't do dumb labor. They're pretty much all red flags. The misogynist, you can get away with. Volatile, like, these are things, if they were just on their own, they were fine, but all 3 of those together is a huge no. This one is interesting, though. They're a psychopath, which means nothing will affect them in terms of social stuff. They can see dead bodies and terrible things, and they're really great for disposing of bodies and things like that. They have a place. They're also nimble, which is really good because that means they're good at close combat, and they're pretty, but unfortunately they've only got construction and intellectual. We've already got a researcher we're converting right now, and I don't need someone who's that good at construction. Construction is usually short-term projects you're going to be doing. So I think, yeah, well, it doesn't matter. They didn't last very long anyway. Yeah, this one, once this one goes down, it should be, the last one will flee. Yeah, they're going to run away. That's perfect for us. We will take the Gladys. We will allow that. We will take the revolver. We will allow that. And the rest of you can all go back to whatever you were doing. That was relatively painless. But yes, do stand behind rocks and trees for cover. Rocks are better. They give you a better cover bonus. Oh, something that was pointed out to me in the comments that's very important. It's when it comes to cooking. There was a detail I missed, and that is pause when satisfied. This little tick box here. You can have a pause when satisfied setting, and I've set it to 10. What this is going to mean is I've set cook 20 simple meals. Once you have cooked 20 simple meals, stop. Do not start cooking any more simple meals again until it drops to 10. So cook 20, unpause at 10, cook 20, unpause at 10. This means your cook is not constantly running back and forth doing those meals. Every time someone decides to have a meal, they suddenly have to stop, drop whatever they're doing, run back to the stove and start cooking again. It's not that huge a deal for my current setup, as they're usually here making pemmican if they're not making anything else. So, yeah, not the worst thing in the world. Anyway, another thing I'm going to do is probably up that, because when we do start moving, we've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should have about 7 colonists we're going to have to feed. So 7 is a lot more food. Let me think for a second. Yeah, we'll increase that to 42 and 21. Just we're going to be stocking up more meals because we're going to need them. Now, all that done, let's just skip this forward a bit. It is the last day of August, or the last day of summer. So let's have a quick look at how this has affected all of us. If we look under needs here, our expectations are low. As in, this place doesn't have the wealth for many luxuries, etc. But it does mean that our wealth is high enough that we've gone to there. At that point, at one point I think it was at minus 25. The wealthier your colony get, the more the expectations of your pawns will go up. So I need to dump a bunch of this wealth and preferably convert it into something less dangerous. The things I would like to convert it into is body armor, weaponry, that type of stuff that will keep my pawns alive. Also medicine, clothing. Oh, great. So I'm just an engine of hatred is stirring and is projecting a powerful psychic drone over this entire region and a frequency that only affects the female gender. For a few days, some people's mood will be quite a bit worse. I think 4 out of 5 of my pawns are all female. I think MacGyver is the only male, which actually it's good it's not a male one. If it was affecting the male one, MacGyver would probably crack. Anyway, at least they're back in bed with Stark. So since this is the last day of August, I'm just collecting up some wood that we're going to bring with us for the new place we're going to settle. And once we've got all the wood collected, oh, Jaguar keeps eating all my food. You know what? At this point, I'm letting them do it. I don't even care. It's fine. It's fine. You can do that. It's okay. I really do want to just collect a bunch of wood so that when we move to our new area, we can set up we can quickly set up a new place to start. Oh, cargo pods. Let's have a quick look and see what Randy has given us today. More yayo. Okay, I don't know what he thinks about my pawns, but they're not those type of pawns. Anyway, I'll skip it forward until we're ready to caravan out of here. Today, on the day of our leaving, Randy decided to give us a gift. The gift being the Green Bramble something League are coming to attack us. And I think there's more than one. Is there? Oh, wow. Yeah, I think we've gotten way too rich for our britches. So Randy is deciding to punish us. 4 close range people over there. You can see their weapons down here. And we've got, let's see, over here we've got 4 other close range weapons people. None of them have anything. Oh, that's heel root. None of them appear to have any ranged weaponry. Well, steel Ikawa, I believe they're spear hattle. Yeah, they're basically all close combat weaponry. Oh, and did they say they were going to be attacking immediately? I think they're going to be attacking immediately, are they? They are attacking immediately. Well, okay, that's annoying. Now that means I'm going to have to take care of all of these and then somehow get around to leaving here. I'm not leaving here today, it seems. That is going to be delayed. Everyone's having a nice nap. I think we should probably get everyone back in here. Why is Rambo so unhappy? Low psychic drone. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, didn't I? Oh, yeah, everyone's getting hit by a low psychic drone. Well, let's let the game play out for a bit. I want everyone to be a bit closer. Is anyone wandered too far from home? Dog's Body, Mr. Stark, Mac, Stark, Rambo and Diggity. No, you're all close to home. We don't have to worry about any of them getting ranged weaponry, so hopefully we can kite them a bit. Might be an idea to go out and meet one pile of them first and then move into the others. Though, I would prefer if everyone got a meal. You know what, Rambo? I'm going to need you to consume a simple meal now. You consume a simple meal now. Dog's Body, how are you doing on your needs? Yeah, I'm going to get everyone to consume a simple meal and get them started. MacGyver, yeah, in fact, you know what? Everyone's going to be getting in on this, so the lot of you are going to have to get your... All right, everyone's fed and ready to go. I think we will start with... Oh, yeah, these 3 over here would probably be a good idea. Oh, yes, excellent. The animals are acting as meat shields. That is actually working out great. I don't care if a few of them get hurt, so long as we stop those people who are trying to hurt us. Hey, are you attacking my camel? Get out of here. You guys are attacking my muffalo. Oh no, it's an alpaca. There goes another one. Anyone else left alive? Anyone? That worked out really well. Whew. Okay. I think they're all gone. I think everyone broke. Let me just double check the history here. Messages, rare thrombos. Oh, sorry, raid. Yeah, no, I think they're all done. Jump to location. Is anyone left? Nope. You know what? In that case, let's let everyone return and see if there's anyone left alive here who might be useful for us. Looking around, we have 2 live pawns. We've got this one over here, but they're psychically hypersensitive, which is just, it's too much of a seesaw of emotion to keep track of, especially with psychic drones that come in all the time, so they're useless to us. This one over here is, well, they've got great shooting. Well, they're going to be a good shooter and a good melee once we train them up a bit. They've got a passion for crafting, which I suppose we will eventually have a use for. Volatile and great memory, so mental break threshold plus 15%. I'd rather not keep any of these, you know. It's just the volatile. I've already got one person who's volatile, and dealing with 2, not worth it. Plus they're 48, not really worth the time. So we'll strip both of them. They might have something worthwhile on them. What's their gear like? Yeah, they do actually have some clothing that would be useful to us. Well, that one does, and that one, yeah, cloth duster, definitely. Oh yeah, so we'll strip them off. And no one even got injured in that. That's amazing. You, I want you to prioritize stripping them down, and you, I want you to prioritize, yeah, that one. I want to make sure they get stripped. If you let them die before you strip them, it taints the clothing and then you can't use it. Now, I don't want to leave these bodies lying around. They're going to make everyone happy. If we check everyone's needs, they've observed a bunch of corpses. It's making them very unpleasant. So, or making everything very unpleasant. I'm going to queue up a bunch of graves. Graves are found under miscellaneous here. So you can queue up some graves, and that should hopefully help everyone out. The people I've stripped down, I've allowed a few of the things like the cloth jacket and the cloth duster. Both of those are going to be allowed on my pawns because, well, some of them are missing some good clothing. Hopefully MacGyver and then put them on. I could force them to put them on, but I'm going to let them choose their own clothing. It should be fine. Anyway, once that's all done, hopefully. Oh, and they're still patching up the animals. Those animals took a pounding for us, so why not? Animals-wise, we have a lot of pack animals, though quite a few of them got injured there. They're going to be really handy for us when we move out, which is going to be delayed by a couple of days due to that raid. Thanks, Randy. So everyone's all tucked nicely into their beds, ready to leave tomorrow morning, and Randy just does not want us to leave. He has now brought down 3 of our people with plague. Oopsie. Make sure they get proper treatment. The following tribes people have got sick. Anita, who's our prisoner. Rambo, who's our, fighter. And Tony the medic. Oh, wait, no. So 2 of our prisoners and Rambo? So Tony and Anita, who, if we check under their health here, you see there's this plague, and at the very top you'll see a percentage going up, and at the very bottom you'll see a percentage also going up. There's plague minor 1.7%. That's the level the plague is at. Once it hits 100%, it will kill the pawn. However, you have the immunity down at 1% at the bottom. Now, once the immunity hits 100%, that will counteract the plague, and it will start driving the percentage down, so the plague will stop rising up. However, we have a problem here. We need to get them treated. If you don't treat them or give them medicine, what will happen is the plague will keep rising up and becoming worse and worse, and it will outstrip their immunity and they will die. If you treat them, then what should happen is the immunity should rise, or when you treat them, it doesn't actually increase the immunity gain. It decreases the let me try that again. If you treat them with medicine, what will happen is it will slow down the growth of the disease, as in the plague will rise at a slower percentage. Your immunity, you cannot increase how fast their immunity is gained, it seems. Their immunity is just their immunity, and it's going to go up at a flat level. There's some stuff with Luciferium we're not going to get into, but by and large, what you do is you treat them with medicine, that slows down the plague, and because the plague increases slower, that gives the immunity time to catch up, surpass the plague, and get them to a point where they have immunity. So we need to get our doc on that straight away, which means Dog's body is going to wake up. They're not going to be happy about that, but the first person they're going to treat is Rambo, because Rambo is very important to us. They are one of the original 5, and we want to make sure that they get the best treatment possible. If we look at Rambo here after the treatment, you'll notice that their immunity is rising up a little bit faster than the plague. The plague has slowed down in its virulency. If we'll check out Tony over here, same thing. They're actually starting to catch up. I'm going to need to stay here for a bit to make sure that happens, and I'm going to need to make sure I harvest some more of that wild medicine that's around the map, just to make sure, because I haven't been really prioritizing that. I should have known Randy was going to do this to me, but this is going to delay our departure just a little bit longer. We have just managed to convert a colonist. We've managed to convert Anita, even though she's currently sick and all that. She has hopped out of... give me that. Even though she's sick and she's still got the plague, she managed to convert to our side. Her immunity factor is at 51%. She seems to have an amazing immune system. So the moment she converted, she's gone out and nicked a bunch of clothes out of the room, and after she's grabbed some food, I hope she goes back to bed. That means we can take this from prisoners to anything to make that open. That just means if Tony converts anytime in the near future, which, okay, that will be a while, we can take care of that. For the meantime, we got to worry about her having a break because she's in serious pain and hasn't had a chance to take advantage of any of the amenities the colony has to offer just yet. Anyway, still dealing with this plague. Currently, what's it at? 46% immunity gain on Rambo here. I'll collect some more medicine and hopefully we'll be out of here shortly. Here's another wonderful thing in this game. It's tattered apparel. So you'll see here under needs, you've got tattered apparel. This thing looks like it's about to fall apart. Can't I wear something that doesn't belong in a trash heap? This is caused by what piece of clothing? Light leather button-down shirt has 8% quality. Anything that goes below 51% quality, that's going to cause issues. Or 50% quality. So we're just going to go into, where is it? Assign, manage outfits, or actually anything. We just want to find anything. They're all set to anything. We're going to edit this, and we're going to say, we're going to drag up this, this one here. We're going to drag this up to 51%. This means they will not wear anything that is below 51% quality. That means they should go and dump that clothing as soon as they possibly can. Or set to hauling ambrosia to stockpile zone 2. Once they've dropped that off, no milking muffalo. No, they'll get around to it eventually. Another thing we can do is we can set up a bill on this campfire. I put this down a bit. Burn apparel. Do X times details. This one you want to be careful with because you don't want to accidentally burn all your clothes. So let's just say everything below 49% of any quality. And you know what? Let's make it normal. You know what? Just get rid of a lot of them. So any clothes that are below 49% will be burned. Also, that's going to include armor and stuff. I don't care. I don't have any of these things to worry about. But that should get rid of anything tatty, and it should help it get burned away. And do forever. That means my pawn should take any of the nasty clothes that are in there that we don't want and get rid of them. For example, there's that shirt that Juanita was wearing, and boom, gone. That will no longer cause complications for the colony. Rambo here is at 99% immunity. Once they hit 100% immunity, the plague will wear off. Well, technically wear off. They're now capable of functioning and walking around. However, they will still be in pain because until they get rid of the plague, which will take a bit of time, you can see here the plague is at 79%, 78%, 77%. It will just keep going down and down as the time progresses. But for the time being, they're going to function at a little bit of a disadvantage. Anyway, that's enough of that. Once, I think we're going to get everyone to go take a nap, and then in the morning, we're going to move out onto the world map and get out of here. Now we have a little bit of a problem. Diggity here has fixated her rage on MacGyver, and she will follow MacGyver around hurling insults. Sometimes what can happen, someone will have a mental break. Diggity here was just in the yellow. I mean, a few of them have gone a bit cranky. It's the whole plague going around the place. So this means Diggity is going to cause me some problems. Now, I do have a simple solution, hopefully, to this. Let's see what Diggity's up to. Let's grab Anita and Dog's body. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll say just midday Diggity. Yeah, that should stop them from causing too many problems. Excellent. And we shall undraft them now. Yeah. There we go. They can all go back to work. And we'll have Diggity brought in to get some medical attention. Now, the reason I did that, brutal as it may seem, is I can't have them walking around tossing out insulting. If they go on an insulting spree on Diggity here, Diggity is MacGyver, that was it. So if they keep going around insulting MacGyver, I'll check MacGyver here and we'll go under their needs. They were insulted and they got a -5. That's going to last for 2 days. If they get insulted another 4 or 5 times, and it does stack, that means Diggity is going to crack. It can go even worse when someone like Diggity goes on a spree and starts insulting everyone around them everywhere. That can be a huge problem. Anyway, let's go back to this, and we're going to assign this out to anything. Ugh. Getting out of here is proving to be very difficult. It seems like Randy doesn't want me to leave just yet. Well, tough, Randy. We're leaving tomorrow, one way or the other. I don't care anymore. So it's time to leave. Permanently leave. So what we want to do is we want to uninstall all the beds. All of them. They've all got to go. We're going to uninstall the cooking table. We're going to take that with us. You know what? We'll take the butcher's table with us. We're also going to take all the chairs with us. They can all go too. And then we're going to create ourselves a caravan and get out of here. Caravan spot is still set up to there. You know what? We'll build a copy over here. We might as well have 2 of them, just in case they can't get from one to the other. Now, once all the beds are uninstalled, which might take a little time. Come on, hurry up, people. We want them dragged over to a stockpile. Unless they're in a stockpile, we can't do anything with it. You know what? Let's expand the stockpile area out just a tad. Expand zone. Yeah, that's fine. Just so there's somewhere to store it. The reason being, if the items like these are not in a stockpile, we can't load them onto the caravan. So if I was to say expand this zone to all through here and here, we can just take all of that stuff with us. We have now uninstalled everything, including the table, the game board. Oh, we forgot to uninstall the hoop ring. Once the hoop ring is uninstalled, we're now getting out of here. A few people are very unhappy because they don't have tables to sit at, all this. Yeah, this is kind of dangerous, but let's get out on the world map and let's create ourselves a caravan. All right, everyone's coming with us. Tony the medic, sure, why not? All of you, all of the alpacas. Yep, and we have quite a decent chunk of carry capacity because we do have a lot of cargo animals. And how did we get a raccoon? You know what? Don't care. Not my problem. Let's stock up. Unfortunately, even with all our pack animals, we can't afford to bring absolutely everything with us, so we might have to leave some things behind. The butcher's table, which is made of wood, that's an easy one to drop. That's 20 kilos of space spared. And then the fuel stove, well, we will need some iron to get it going. We can live off our pemmican for quite some time. That's why we have it. That leaves us a little bit of spare space. You want to take I'm taking the board game of Ur with me. The reason being, you want some recreation to bring with you when you're traveling. We might not be stopping for a while, so this is just good to have. Saves you a little bit of time. Then we're going to want to choose. Oh, you know, we do have some spare space left over, and our movement speed is going to be quite slow already. So let's just take the maximum amount of wood we can carry. It's not a lot, but it should help us at least get started when we get to our new location. Choose a route. You know what? We'll check out what it's like over here. See if their inventory has changed at all. And then we accept. Yeah, 5 days worth of food. Blah 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 blah. What are you talking about? Yes, we will confirm that. We have a lot more than 5 days worth of food. We have an awful lot of animals, I suppose. Maybe that's what they're thinking. Anyway, time for them to all collect up everything that's going on and get out of here. And there we go. Days? Ah, no. Psychotic state. This happened because of poor mood. Final stall. Recreational unfulfilled. Come on. You know what? We will remove you from the caravan. Remove from caravan. That's fine. Everyone else can leave without you. Eventually you'll recover. You can catch up. And there we go. And the world map. Oh, in mobile caravan, I think we've got too much. Yeah, we're going to have to actually drop some gear. Reason being, we have too much stuff on us. Anita, we should have been carrying some of this, but she freaked out. To get rid of items, you have to go into the item section here in the caravan. And then we want to find some stuff we want to rid of. The most obvious one is to get rid of the wood. Abandon all. Yeah, do you really want to? Yes, let's get rid of that. How much? No, we still need to get into something. Oh, sandstone club. Yeah, we don't want that. Gone. Does that bring us down? Oh, one more. Wooden club. Gone. And now we're up to movement speed. Excellent. Now we can actually get out of here. Cargo pods. What is it? Oh, whole bunch of meat. Yeah, we don't need that. Where is Anita? She is still having a wander. She's going to be very unhappy, but oh yeah, well the plague's almost gone. I'm sure once that's gone, she'll get a lot better. One can only hope. Back on the world map, let's see what's happening here. Oh yeah, everyone stopped for the night. One thing you can check here, when they do stop for the night and you've got a caravan going on, you can see their needs here where they actually rest up and grab food and all that. They can also get their recreation as well, so make sure you send some recreation along with them. Very important. Anita has recovered. She's going to form her own caravan, and we'll get her to... what happens if we load her down with wood? Actually, you know what? We'll just let her catch up with us. She should be fairly fast if we do it that way, though she is going to be a little bit hungry. Come on. Oh, we'll send you all the way to there. And we will... Yeah, you can leave everything behind. We will accept. Yeah, confirm. And hopefully she will get underway shortly. Once she's at least off the map, we'll... Oh, our caravan has arrived. Let's get some trading going on. they don't have anything really worth buying. This is the same place as before, and their inventory hasn't changed. I don't know how often the inventory refreshes. I googled it. I did everything I could. I couldn't find out how often a town's inventory will change. Some people advise that if you keep going back to the same town frequently, it won't change. You have to stay away for a certain amount of time, though no one knew exactly what it was. If you have any ideas on the mechanics, please let me know. We'll just accept and get out of here. There's no more we need from this place. Back at the world map over here, I think Anita has collapsed because, yeah, she's completely exhausted. But let's go back to the world map and find our pawns here. We're going to go over to this town and maybe have a look as well. Actually, how is our pawns doing? Randy has sent us a mad hare. That mad hare is currently chasing after Anita, who is trying to get to the edge of the map and escape. Nope, she's cut and tied up. This is... damn it. You were so close to the edge of the map. If I don't stop you now, you won't get a chance. So you know what? You're going to have to melee a rabbit before you leave. What's your skills like? 3 in melee? You can probably take a rabbit. Oh, great. And you're bleeding. Well, that's that done. Perfect. We're going to allow her to self-tend. There's a little tick box here that allows someone to self-tend. We want her to self-tend herself so that she doesn't bleed out, and then we want to get her off the map. Actually, you know what? We're going to remove that and let her leave and hopefully get off. Once she's on the world map, it should be easier. Also, she won't get attacked by anything else, hopefully. Oh, thank Christ. Okay, she's off the map. That means she can start heading over this direction. She'll rest on her own and she'll take care of herself as needs be. At the second town, we are just going to sell off a bunch of jade. There's nothing they've got that we want, so we'll sell off the jade, which will drastically increase the amount of mass we're carrying, which is great. And then we can get out of here. We might want to wait up until Anita catches up with us. She's not in the best of mood, considering she has absolutely no food and nothing to carry with her. So we'll merge the colonies, and once they're merged, we'll get out of here. Once the two caravans are right beside each other, we can hit the merge button. And there we go. They're all together in one big happy caravan, including Anita, who needs to get patched up. Anyway, next up, I think we're going to head over this direction. We're going to try trading here first and see if we can't find ourselves some good stuff. At the same time, we are going to abandon our own colony, our old one. This one can go. There's nothing left here that we want. It's a pity. There was... Oh, we left behind some thrombo fur? How did we leave behind a thrombo fur? You know what? It's probably Anita. Doesn't matter. Not gonna complain. It's fine. But we will just simply abandon. Boom. That colony no longer exists. We are roaming around. We are going to visit here. This will be a travel of 1.7 days. We forage berries at 8.2 a day. We should be grand. Anyway, I'm going to cut this out here. This video has gone way too long. It's just there's too many mechanics to cover in this game this early. Hope you enjoyed, and good luck.